listen to the show and peep what these dudes bring. If you didn't know, it's an orange and blue thing. Hope to win the championship and a few rings.
We're talking baseball.
It's an orange and blue thing. Walk off if the game's tied like shoestrings. It's a Mets podcast, orange and blue thing. Beat the other team with defense and a few swings. LFGM, it's an orange and blue thing.
What's up, Mets fans? Like 2 seconds late here. Sorry about that.
For the record, I was here at 10:15, so it's not on me.
Well, Julia got shit on today by a bird.
Literally a bird shit on my mouth. I was half a mile away from anything sanitary, walking a dog. It was the worst. Apparently, it's good luck. I don't know what good luck this is supposed to bring me.
Well, it's supposed to be good luck if you get shit on by like a seagull, I think. Or is it any bird?
I think it's any bird. For the love of God, I hope it's any bird. It was on my mouth. I almost killed an old man. It was an old man whose dog I was walking. I had to run into his house and screamed, "A bird shit on my mouth!" And he was laughing so hard he went into a choking fit. I almost killed a man. I'm having a morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Well, good morning to everyone out there. It is Monday morning here in New York. If you're watching on the West Coast, good morning. I don't even know if the sun came up yet. So it's 11 a.m. here. We got a little early show today. I don't know if Julia's trying to hit the beach or something, but
No, it's dog drama.
Dog drama.
Yeah.
Dog drama. Happy Monday to you guys watching live. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Check in the comments if you are hanging out with us during the live stream. So the Mets are still in first place. It's been like 80 days or something like that, whatever it is. I lost count, but they are 52-44, first place in the NL East, 8 games over 500, and now have a 4-game lead over Philly.
Let's go.
Word came out last night that the Nationals basically gave up. They are now sellers.
Love to see it.
Scherzer's.
Thank you, Orioles.
Yeah, the Orioles of all people to sweep.
Matt Harvey, our man. Love it.
Did Harvey have something to do with it?
Yeah, since the second half, he's been, knock on wood, he's been aces. He's had like two back-to-back starts of like 6 solid innings or so, and just
look at that.
Dominated the Nationals. We
Nice.
love to see it.
Nice. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna have Joe DeMayo from. It's nice to say SNY's Joe DeMayo.
I know, how fancy.
Check in a little
Awesome.
bit to talk about the trade deadline and what's going to go on with that, the rumors, and to look out for all the fake imposter accounts these days where like someone changes like an I to a lowercase L or something, and they steal someone's profile photo and they make these fake accounts on
They're
Twitter.
Scary.
Because that's all the rage. I don't know who gets like
People
enjoyment
have
out of
nothing
that.
better to do. People, I know people have to have jobs. I know this was a rough year, but like you have to be doing something that you don't have time to do that. I don't get it.
I don't get the whole trolling thing. I guess we've talked about it a couple
So
times
many
on the
times.
show.
Hit it.
But it's just one of those things, where people really get enjoyment out of just trolling people on the internet.
What do they call them on there? They call them trollers?
So the trollers do their thing. They make the fake accounts and they like to like get you. Like, oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Look at all the people I tricked this week into saying that Jacob deGrom went to the Yankees.
Although the one great troll, he's doing a great job, I'm in complete support of it, is Mark Too Gooden.
Oh, that's great.
Has everyone convinced he's a beat writer?
For the Federalist. Before he worked for the Washington Examiner, and now he works for the Federalist.
And he
if you
also
don't know Mark.
freelances in weather. Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's
Well,
so
when Steve Cohen put something on Twitter about, hey, anyone want to? No, Steve wrote something like, I'm not going to be at the ballpark tonight, or something along those
does anyone
lines.
want to take over the weather? And I tagged you. I was like Doppler Darren.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
you
I would have
go.
taken the reins on that. Check the radar for Steve Cohen, but he stepped in Too Gooden, and he wrote like, I'm perfect for this job or something like that. So he
It's
moonlights
so
as a beat
good.
reporter and a beat reporter for the Federalist and a weatherman on Twitter, which is great. But he also rubs people the wrong way. He's
But that's the recipe for a perfect troll.
Yeah.
You gotta rub people the wrong way.
and he's also one of those guys where we've talked about it numerous times here on the show where you meet someone in person and he's a nice guy. I met him a couple times at bars and stuff or at the games. We say what's up.
Maybe met him once in passing.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So let me ask you, when you get shit on your face by a bird, do you instantly
let's
feel like
qualify.
you're gonna throw up, or
I'm telling you,
could the dog sense your tension?
Well, that's the thing. This dog is so anxious and nervous too, and completely feeds off my energy. And so I was actually talking to her because all I do is just talk to dogs all day. So my mouth was open, and it hit like my lower lip, like right here, and it felt like water at first. I was like, "Oh, it's rain." I was like, "It's not raining." I was like,
beautiful morning.
No. I was my hand, and it was brown, and I was like, I just started screaming. There was no one around, and she was like jumping around, like all concerned. Oh my God, I just hit the. It was disgusting. I was nowhere near close to home. We were just like basically running no, I would not close my mouth. I was literally running home like, I'm sure that was an attractive face, but that's what everyone at Birchwood Middle Island saw me doing. So it was just the worst. The worst.
And then when we get in here, we have like a random fly stuck in the studio.
There's a fly in the studio right now, and me and Lizzie have already decided my fate is when I'm open mouth laughing with my head back, it's gonna fly down my throat and kill me. So.
Well, once you become a parent, have you changed any diapers yet in your life?
Oh yeah, I used to work at a daycare.
Okay, so in the beginning, when you become a parent,
oh yeah,
you're thinking like shit is like the worst thing that you could ever possibly. Not that like I enjoy having crap on my hands,
but you also think you know what shit is.
It happens.
Yeah,
shit happens.
But then you see baby shit, formula shit. This is a great show, by the way.
It is a great show. It is, and that's the
throw
best
back to our super pooping.
It's the best. This is the best possible show to have the fart button on. If you're checking in for the first time, this is Orange and Blue Thing.
We talk about poop.
We talk about the Mets and talk about poop sometimes, but mostly poop and also the Mets. But if you're watching live on all these platforms that we are live on, and you want to be in the running for one of these, you want to show this off?
Sure. It's very heavy. I think it's heavy it might now. Be stocked with something.
Because ours is stocked with Coors Lights.
Of course.
It did not come stocked with Coors Lights yesterday at the ballpark, but the Mets gave away these 6-pack coolers. Yeah, it would have been cool. Lizzie's saying in the back, would have been great if they came with the beers, but they did not. Because not everyone is of age, and maybe you want to put some candy in there. Amelia was walking around yesterday with her bottle of water in hers. She was very excited to have this.
I would use it for snacks during the day while not walking dogs.
And maybe baby wipes to wipe shit off your face.
Good point.
As you're walking. But so the Mets gave these out. They sent 2 our way. We're giving them away for free right now to you guys. So if you happen to miss it this weekend, you didn't go to the game, or you live far away, we will mail it to you. So all you got to do is post it on your wall, post the show on your wall that you're watching on Facebook. And if you're watching on Twitter, hit the retweet button, and that's how you're in the running to win one of these 6-pack coolers. It will not be filled with Coors Light, but you can fill it with whatever you'd like. What are you laughing at?
I'm sorry. I can't read any of the comments, but all I see are the poop emojis. I can't read what they say, but we're talking about poop.
So speaking of posting it on your wall, I saw Howie and Wayne yesterday at the ballpark.
Oh, so nice.
I had great seats. I didn't realize how expensive seats are these days because we only sit with the group. I haven't been to a game in a long time.
Yeah, Mets are good.
With the 7-line army. So we got nice seats, and I think that section 317, which where we were, may be the best seat in the ballpark.
It is. That's like right behind home plate. But
you're
like
one level up. You're like
yeah.
one level above the suites.
Yeah.
And like overlooking basically like a little bit to the right of home plate, in between the Mets dugout and home plate. But right behind me were Howie and Wayne. So when I walked by, they were doing their thing. Obviously, I'm not going to interrupt them, but I gave a little nod and took a selfie. I posted a selfie. Howie replied, like, "Don't flub a foul ball. We will absolutely rip you on air." It was great. And guess what?
Awesome. Did you flub a foul ball?
No.
Oh.
The guy next to me was wearing a Robinson Cano jersey. And he was ready.
A Mets jersey?
Robinson Cano Mets jersey.
Yikes.
And he was sitting there with his glove. He was ready to go.
Okay.
He was with his wife, a little bit older than me, I think.
I respect it.
And behind me were a group of guys. And I don't think the guy had a glove, but in the 9th inning, there was a foul our way. And I was filming because I wanted to get like the last out. So I'm filming. The ball came and seriously landed 6 inches from like Kelly and Amelia right behind us. Guy caught it bare hand and was going nuts with it. So we were very close to getting a foul.
I actually think I heard, I don't know if it was that inning, but I was listening on the radio at the end of the game, and I think I heard Howie maybe like acknowledge that, and the fan made a nice catch. I don't know, maybe could have been that one. Yeah. But like, if you weren't filming, would you have tried to catch it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. But like we were sitting in the front row. I didn't want to drop it happened so quickly. I didn't want to drop the phone. Yeah. You also have to make sure that like your kid's
child,
okay.
Yeah.
So I look over and the guy behind us caught it.
That was once. There's a girl out there who must hate me. It was 2012 or 2013, whatever game. Jordani Valdespin hit a walk-off grand slam. We're going way back.
But we were on the Shea Bridge.
It was that game. I was on the Shea Bridge. I was on the first base line. It was before they put up the netting. And so I was there with my dad's cousin who has some disabilities, so would need someone to protect him in the case of a foul ball coming right at him. And I had my glove, and a foul ball, I'm pretty sure it was Daniel Murphy actually hit it. it was coming right at us, and my dad wasn't at the seat, so my instinct was just to cover his cousin and just protect him. And I had my glove. The girl on the other side of me got nailed in the stomach. I could have protected her, but I was just like, I saw one thing, and she got the ball, and she was drunk enough that it was fine, but I still feel bad about that. Like when you have your glove and you don't protect the person next to you and you don't get the ball.
Yeah.
Not a great look.
So that's me and the boys yesterday.
Oh,
I got some hate on this hat.
Why?
I don't know.
Fedoras are
I guess
in.
people don't like fedoras.
No, they're in.
And it's also the hate that I get on the hat is also from the same.
What do they call them? They call them trollers?
The trollers.
Well, I don't think you post anything without getting hate. That's
Yeah,
just
whatever.
what happens.
So
when
anyway,
you're
but it went
popular.
great with my shorts. You can't see the shorts in this in this photo here, but underneath, there's Howie saying, "Don't flub a foul, or we will rip you." So that's great. And I think he tweeted this at 1:09 p.m. So 1 minute before first pitch.
That's a pro.
Howie's on Twitter.
A pro's pro, just like us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you should see that. Like, not that we talk, poorly of anyone here before we're going live. We're just
No.
bullshitting, laughing, whatever. But
Just the chaos.
But it's funny too because like the things that we talk about prior, like poop on your face, which you would think like, oh, we can't talk about this on the show.
No, it's
we
the
do
first
anyway.
thing
We
talk
open
about
with
on
it.
the show.
So
Oh, God.
yeah, the game was great. I mean, I'm saying 317 might be the best seat in the house. Also because on those days where yesterday I don't know what it was, 85 degrees or something. We didn't see a stitch of sun at all.
Wow.
So not that we have an overhang above us,
but the sun's behind you.
sun's behind you.
Yeah.
But there's no overhang. It's not like we're like stuck behind, like back in the day, like
Right.
last row of loge and the upper decks over you. No sun. It was great. Shade the whole day. Great view. Like people like to say, like, oh, I'm sitting field level, like bougie, like whatever.
Those
The
aren't always
cushioned
great seats.
they're not that great.
No.
The field level seats are cool to be like, oh, I'm sitting field level,
Yeah.
but the perspective from being just a little bit up is incredible.
You can see everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
So if you're
sure.
ever looking for a recommendation of where to sit, if you're going with the fam, you want a nice view, spend a couple extra bucks, I would say 317 for sure. Definitely pricey. It wouldn't
Yeah.
be something that we could afford to do all the time.
regularly, yeah, no.
Because you add it all up with the food and the drinks, and Amelia had to have her ice cream, and she
Of
also
course.
wanted.
Did she get a souvenir?
It was
Or
cool.
should she have
got
plenty
the
of
ice
that
cream cup,
souvenirs?
and it was a road gray helmet.
Really?
Yeah. So usually they do like the blue
I
and the
haven't
black.
seen that. That's cool.
Yeah, so it was a road gray. It had the New York, like arched New York lettering on the hat there. It was cool. And she had fun time and actually sat in the seats pretty much the whole game.
Wow. I was gonna ask, is this like the first game she
She has
sat
been
all
to
the way
games-
through?
She's 6.
I know she was young
A
last
third of her
time.
life has been coronavirus,
Yeah,
basically.
that's so sad.
So yeah, her last game was Cincinnati in 19.
Wow.
so-
she was young.
Yeah, she was 4.
Wow.
She's a real human now. She's 6 years old.
Love it.
So,
she's an adult.
Yeah, she had fun. And on the way there, she said Pete Alonso was not going to hit a home run, and then he did.
Aha.
But she said Conforto was going to.
Okay.
Uh,
So she was just a little off.
Conforto didn't. So let's talk a little bit about Pete.
Yes.
Pete's been people want to bring up
I love him.
people want to bring up the home run derby as like a turning point in people's seasons that they're not going to keep it up.
Everybody always points to David Wright's 2006 home run derby screwed him for the rest of the season. Which
Right.
You think what you want, but so far so good for Pete.
Yeah, well, Pete's been doing great. Pete's been carrying himself very well in the not only the dugout but on the field,
And he's
with the
also been
bat.
carrying a horse.
Yeah. So
I don't get it.
I don't get it, but who cares?
I'm all about it, but I don't fucking get it.
So on Friday, I think it was Friday, during pregame, I think it was Ron said like, some teams have the spinner.
Yeah,
chain,
yeah,
and
yeah.
They got this, and he's like, now the Mets have a pony in the dugout. I told Amelia on the way, I was like, there's a pony in the dugout. She's like, really, a pony? I
Oh,
was like, well, it's not real, but you can kind of
It's
see
not
it on the end of the dugout.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
could. It was like standing right there.
yeah.
So that was pretty cool. But
Mets
Pete
pony.
traded in Donnie Stevenson for the pony, which I'm
You know
fine
what?
with.
I'm fine with that too.
I'm fine with
If we
it.
get rid of Donnie Stevenson, I'm fine with it. Did it have anything to do with? Wasn't there a horse race this weekend?
I don't know.
Do we think it was related to a horse race
No,
or
I
just?
think it's like someone probably made a joke, like one of the guys. Like,
Yeah.
all right, let's just buy this thing on Amazon. I'll get here in a day.
You can ride a pony. You can ride a ball.
But I want to know: are they going to bring it on the road? Because that's
I
pretty big to
would.
pack.
I mean,
I don't know. These
travel
guys
with
obviously have a
horses.
little bit different,
you can use
scenario.
them as a carry-on. Like they don't need a pocketbook. It could be their carry-on. It's fine. I don't see any reason why the pony shouldn't make it on the road.
No, it should. It should definitely make it on the road. So
Road pony.
here's what Pete's been up to in his last 9 games. This is Anthony DeComo's tweet. In 9 games, 42 plate appearances, 5 home runs, 10 RBIs, 8 runs scored. He's batting .378 with a .452 on base percentage and an .811 slugging. So Pete is obviously doing a-okay.
And a lot of first inning homers too.
Yeah.
Love
And you
it.
know what I said the other night? I think it was Friday night when Matt's pitched, right?
Mhm.
Friday Matt's
Yeah.
pitched. I actually said something like, "Oh, I think it was on Twitter. Grandpa Matt seems like such an old school like guy
Uh-huh.
that he might even still be rooting for the Mets, even though Matt's is pitching against us tonight." But
Aw.
the last game that we went to on the road, Kelly and I went down to Baltimore, and Harvey was pitching.
Yes.
And there was a first inning home run off of Harvey by Pete Alonso.
Right.
And this Friday, first inning home run against
wow.
Mats at City.
Did we have any off Wheeler? I don't remember.
I don't know.
But we have wins against Harvey, Wheeler, and Mats this
That's
year.
pretty cool. Weird, right?
It's kind of sad, but
Someone wrote
awesome.
something too like,
Bittersweet.
the day is finally here where Mats, Wheeler, Harvey, and DeGrom also all pitch at City Field in 2021.
Oh,
It's crazy, right?
That's depressing. No Thor though. So
Yeah, not yet.
still waiting on it.
Not yet. So yeah, like I said,
Ah.
Mets 30 and 15 at City Field. They got to pick it up a little bit on the road, but what's going on now is today the Mets have a doubleheader. They're playing 5 straight games against the
Yes.
Braves. Which, do you remember the whole Barves thing? BAR.
Mhm.
So Barves, I guess someone, when people like they call you the wrong name on purpose to like
yes,
insult
to
you.
insult you.
But there was a whole thing where there were Barves t-shirts made. And I don't know if that was a mistake from like Majestic or if a
Uh-huh.
fan made that, like, oh, we're gonna skirt trademark
Right.
infringement. But I remember there was a whole thing about Barves t-shirts and they got sued.
Really?
Yeah,
For
but it-
Barbs?
Barves, because you can't do confusingly similar things. I learned all this over the years, but
Darren knows this
there were
firsthand.
Barves t-shirts out there, and I don't know if it was a mistake or they did it on purpose to try to like sell them
Yeah.
and get away with it. But the Barves are in town for 5, and the Phillies and the Nats are playing each other 8 times over the next 2 weeks.
That's huge.
So if we, take 3 out of 5 at least, 4 out of 5 would be. I'm not. Granted, we would love to see 5 straight wins right
You
now. against the
got
Braves,
to.
but I would take 3 and 2.
Yeah.
Even though you'd want to at least get 4 and 1, but whatever. Beat the Braves, win this series, and
Mhm.
have the Nats and the Phillies just beat up on each other.
I know.
They can't gain any ground that
I
way.
feel like every week we're on here is saying, like, the Mets got this team's coming up. All right, now's the time. They got to run with it, run away with it. And they still haven't done it. And they need to, because I know they've like comfortably had, knock on wood, like a 3 to 4 game lead for like a couple months now. But we all have PTSD when it comes to this.
Well,
And again, I mean, the offense has been a lot better as of late, which is good. So maybe I'll just end my thought there. I'm
but
not
also,
gonna shit on them.
it's I get heat too on the internet when I like try to get excited about what's going on. So
Yeah.
like, don't make October plans that you
Right.
can't break and things like that, because we lived through it. I'm older than you, obviously, but like I was at all these games at the end when we had a 7-game lead with 17 to play and they
Like,
blew it.
Yeah.
So 7 and 17, they're only up by 4 games now.
I
We're already like,
know.
print the tickets,
I know.
playoffs.
The only saving grace is that all of the teams in the NL East are
They suck.
horrible. It's not like, okay, well, it's this close and every team is like in it and good. It's just who is the least bad.
Yeah.
But like, it's the Mets have so much potential, and I still think they're not totally living up to it. Granted, a lot of that has to do with injuries. But again, when you have the situation, Phillies and Nationals are playing each other, you're playing the Braves. You need to do what you can and take advantage and beat the Braves.
Absolutely beat the
sure.
Braves. So it looks like we are going to get Cookie Carrasco back with the Mets.
Love it.
So he'll be making his first start hopefully soon. We had Dick Mountain yesterday at the
Dick
at City Field.
Mountain.
He put that on his jersey.
No.
So Rich Hill, 41 years old.
Yes, his name
I
is
think
Rich
this-
Hill.
I think this is his 12th team or 11th team, one or the other.
He's older than Louis Rojas and Jeremy Hefner.
Hefner's like 35.
I know.
So
Love it.
Players Weekend,
Uh-huh.
Scooter, Polar P,
Jake.
Jake. Didn't DeGrom just get DeGrom?
I thought he got Jake one year.
I
but-
think that he just decided he wasn't going to participate, which I love.
Oh.
I think he just kept DeGrom. But Rich Hill went with D Mountain on his jersey. You didn't know that?
No, I mean, I saw people saying it, and it obviously makes sense.
Richard
Rich Hill
Dick
is
Mountain-
Dick Mountain. I
Mountain.
get it. I didn't know that he himself made it his identity. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
That's his identity, Dick Mountain. So
Dick Mountain.
let me ask you, did you
Blue
ever
Jays
know?
cannot climb the Dick Mountain.
No, they didn't even get close. The name Betty. Do you know what Betty is short for?
Elizabeth.
How did you know that?
Because Taylor Swift recently came out with a song named Betty, and I looked it up.
I only found this out on Saturday night.
Well, to be fair, I found this out like a year ago.
I don't
so.
even know how this came up, but I was with Shoemaker and Kel. We were watching the game. We went to the Portly Villager in Sayville. which was great. It was like, it might be like my new favorite
Yeah?
bar. Yeah, Gio always talks about it. Boomer and Gio. Gio talks about the Portly Villager. I drive past all the time. Like, oh, we got to stop there. So we stopped for a drink, watched some of the game, and then we went to Sayville Bait and Tackle, like a new place. It was what was it called? Years ago, it was called Irish Exit. Before that was, damn, I can't believe it's slipping my mind, but whatever. It's called Sayville Bait and Tackle. And we're sitting there and we started talking about nicknames for some reason. And Betty came up. I had no idea that Betty was Liz. Long story short, this is how I found out that the Mets have a Hall of Fame induction next week, because I'm sitting.
Me connect the dots.
Nothing to do with Betty or anything, but watching the game at the bar.
Okay.
There was no sound on, but I'm looking behind the batters, behind home plate, and where they have the ads, it said Hall of Fame induction July 31st at Citi Field. It's like, Hall of Fame induction. How is this not being promoted?
And it's Ron freaking Darling.
So yeah.
Why are they talking about it?
Ron Darling, John Matlack, and Alfonzo are all being inducted into the Mets Hall of Fame this Saturday, which is the 31st. I looked it up. I was like, listen, I think we consider ourselves pretty big Mets fans.
Sure.
How do we not know about this? And how is this not being beat down our throats that like we got to buy tickets?
Fact checkers, did you know about this?
So anyone in there it goes, Shu. It's called the Half Penny Pub. I'm sorry, Half Penny. Then went to Irish Exit. And now it's called Bait and Tackle.
Perfect.
Sorry about that. I'm glad you're watching while you're at work though, Shu. Hopefully you don't get in trouble. So the Hall of Fame induction thing it's on the back of the backstop.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this.
I remember hearing about it like before the season started, because I remember thinking, wow, I can't believe Ron Darling isn't already in the Mets Hall of Fame. I remember having that thought, but I cannot even, like, I didn't know it was happening this month, this year still. Like, they never talked about it. They're barely talking about the Kuzman retirement ceremony either. So
let me backtrack here for a second, because they did announce that they were going to induct these three gentlemen into the Mets Hall of Fame in January of 2020.
Yeah.
Then the world shut down.
Right.
So everything got pushed, obviously, the next year. Now we're in 2021. So we knew that they were going to be inducted, but the world closed.
Right.
So obviously they didn't do it last year, and they pushed the Jerry Kuzman retirement till the end of August, which I feel like is also not really getting that much attention.
Definitely not enough.
But the last induction was Piazza.
Yeah.
And I understand Piazza was still like more, not that these guys aren't relevant, but he was not as far removed from the game.
Alfonzo.
And it was right before he went into Cooperstown.
Yeah.
So it was the year before he went into the Mets Hall of Fame before Cooperstown.
Yeah.
So
but it was a couple of years before.
Right, because he got snubbed from the Hall of Fame.
Yes, it was
the real Hall of Fame.
Before his eligibility.
And they're like, all right, we're going to put him in the Mets Hall of Fame. They turned this into a big day.
Right.
And it became a great event. Like, it was a blowout.
Awesome.
We sold the tickets in like a second, and the stadium was rocking. But I get it. Piazza has a little bit more of a draw than Matlack, Alfonso, and Ron Darling. I get it. But like, Ron hasn't played in decades.
But still, like, people listen to him every day. I'm sure you could at least.
No, I'm not downplaying that at all.
Yeah.
But
you could definitely sell some tickets if you just talked about it.
Very strange. And I'm looking in the comments here. People are saying that they didn't see about it at all until like last week.
Crazy.
I know Piazza was at the ballpark the other day to talk about it. He was there. And I guess maybe the last, kind of like how we do our interviews, the last guy asked the next guy a question, but Piazza was there to promote. I don't know if it was just that, because I couldn't hear. I was at the bar. The event, and that he's going to be in town, or maybe he's staying for next week. I don't know. But I did some digging because I'm interested in finding more out about this. And I told you before we went live, Ron Darling is going in, and I know Howie's usually like the master of ceremony. They call it master of ceremonies.
Sure.
The host. But Ron Darling will be inducted into the Mets Hall of Fame by Gary and Keith.
I love that so much.
Which is cool, right?
So pure.
But if more people knew about this, wouldn't they want to go?
I honestly, and
they don't show this on TV, I don't think. They don't usually show the ceremonies, do they?
I think they might have showed the Piazza one. I was there, so I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I feel like I remember. I think they do show it. I feel like I remember watching. Was there anybody else inducted with Piazza? It was just Piazza,
no,
right?
just Piazza.
I feel like I remember watching, what was it, like Dwight Gooden and like, I think like Frank Passion all went in the same day. I remember an old person. I don't know. It was a while ago, but I feel like I remember watching that on TV because I definitely wasn't there. So I think they might show it. I don't know. I could have just made up that memory.
I don't know, but I did some digging, and it looked like I wrote it down here. I can't find the tweet now, but the last tweet that I saw from the Mets was on June 8th. So that's a long time ago.
insanity.
Like I just typed in Matlack, Darling, Alfonzo,
And like, listen,
and Mets.
not that the black jerseys isn't a big deal and very exciting. That's why we're wearing black today.
Oh
'cause
yeah, Rock Like Shay t-shirts.
black comes back
coming out soon.
Yeah, we'll promo that more in a minute. But but like they've been talking about that so much, you couldn't spend like one extra tweet on 3 of your greatest
doesn't make a
players
lot
of
of
all
sense to me.
time.
It
I don't get it.
I don't understand it at all. Yeah,
Like,
I think,
that's the thing. They're back-to-back games. You could have a sellout weekend. What are you doing?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to make a late push. I don't know, but I have no idea what's going on with the marketing. I don't understand why they're not pushing
all
this
the
more.
budgeting for the month was spent on that Donnie Stevenson commercial, I guess, and we just couldn't come up with the funds for Ron Darling.
But even yesterday, I was at the ballpark. I don't think they mentioned it at all in between the innings.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I was with Amelia, so I wasn't as locked into
Right.
what was going on the scoreboard in between. But certainly, I feel like they should be making a bigger deal out of that.
I agree.
Especially like with the heritage and the history, and Steve Cohen coming
Mhm.
on board and saying, things are going to change a little bit around
Yeah.
here. Not that the Mets didn't do a good job with it, because back then, I mean, like the Wilpons,
Mhm.
back then, I mean, the Piazza thing was such an event.
Yeah.
He drove around in the outfield in his golf
I
cart.
touched his hand.
Did you?
Sorry, I just fangirled. Yes, I did. I was right.
Where were you sitting?
I was on the first baseline.
Okay.
I was right there, and I said, "I love you," and he's like, "Thanks, sweetie." I will always fangirl for Mike Piazza. I don't care. The one
then
Twitter
you-
troll who had a problem with it, I don't care.
And then you interviewed him.
Isn't that so
a couple years
stupid?
later.
The only 2 baseball players I've ever interviewed are David Wright and Mike Piazza. That's so dumb.
Well, it's great.
Who allowed that? It's you who allowed
You got to
that,
keep
but
it up.
I can't. Oh, and Daniel Murphy.
And Daniel
Forgot about
Murphy.
Daniel Murphy. Sorry, Murph.
Shout out to Murph. Speaking of interviews, I did reach out to Bobby Valentine. I'd like to have him on the show. I know he's running for
Ooh,
mayor.
He's
in
running for
Connecticut.
mayor.
And I think that that's what he does. That's what people do when they're running. They
Yeah,
say
you
yes to
want a
everything.
promo for
So that's why I reached
sure.
out now. It's like, you can't say no now.
No, and now we got Murph wanted to know who he needs to ask a question to. So
That would be
he's
great.
got to start thinking questions for Bobby Valentine.
Murph to Bobby V.
Mhm.
That would be awesome. So we are going to get in with Joe DeMayo in a little bit here.
Oh yes.
Let us know where you're watching from. We're going to shout you guys out in the comments. We did give out 200 free tickets to the last Saturday's game. Lizzie went. I didn't go because I was going yesterday. If you went to the game, let us know in the comments. I know the game kind of stunk, but pretty cool. We have free
Yes.
tickets, right?
Free
So
tickets.
last week's share contest winners were already selected. That's how we gave out
Mm-hmm.
some free tickets. So that's already taken care of. We're not going to announce anyone today on the show, but to
Okay.
get involved for the 6-pack cooler here, just share the show and get involved, and that's how you'll be put in the running. So what are you hoping to see go down by Friday? A big Cespedes style splash, a couple small moves like Uribe and Kelly Johnson.
They need a pitcher, at least one pitcher. They need someone. I really don't know. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I have not paid enough attention to who is available to know of any realistic trades that could be made. But I know they said they were looking into Scherzer. That's another one I obviously would just get on board because I want to win. But it would be so weird to root for. I spent so many years making fun of Max Scherzer to like all of a sudden be like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's root for him. I don't know. But a lot of people are talking about giving up. Like I saw something like some trade proposal to like give up Ronnie Mauricio or whatever. And I'm just like, as much as I do believe in this team's ability to rally and come back and win games, and I do think they're going to make the playoffs, I don't, as of right now, from what they've showed me, know if I believe they will go very deep into the playoffs when they start playing teams like the Dodgers or the Padres or whatever. I don't know if I'm ready to give up top prospects for rentals until, and I mean, I know now's the time to do it, but I don't know. It's so funny because you've always just been like, oh, do whatever you need to do to win now. But then
Right.
and again, I know Jared Kelenic hasn't really been much this year, but
No,
you don't
nothing.
want another one of those situations where it's like, oh, we gave that guy up for essentially nothing. So it wasn't nothing. I don't know. I'm all over the place, but I'm very I am not going to get my hopes up. I'm not going to wish for anything. I'm just going to wait and see what happens and see how it plays out. But I don't want to give up too much unless it makes complete and total sense.
So let's give some shout outs here. We got Alan O'Brien watching from San Diego on Facebook. We got Jackson Heights in the house, Timothy McBride. We got Seattle in the house, Fort Worth, Texas in the house, Greenville, South Carolina, Bayport, New York, Yonkers, New York. People checking in from all over the place. And we have to also always give a special shout out to our friends from Coors Light.
Of course.
Of course.
Of
the Coors Light. Of Coors Light. Look at that. That's a good one.
Of course.
Of Coors Light. Look at that. So head on over to CoorsLight.com/OABT. You type in your address, you type in your zip code. Obviously your zip code, your address, and your birthday, and it tells you where you can pick up your Coors Lights. So CoorsLight.com/OABT. I'm favorable of Instacart here. It's very easy.
Yeah.
If you look on the top, it says free delivery today on your first order. So once you make an account, you get free delivery as well. Super simple, super easy. You can see here too, when you type in your zip, it tells you like shop right there. There you go. You can pick it up, add to your cart. I couldn't get a Coors Light fast enough when I pulled into the ballpark yesterday. It was my first destination. We walked over the Shea Bridge. We saw Joe DeMayo, who we're going to get to in a second. And Amelia goes, "Oh, there's your store." Like she wanted to make sure we went and checked the shop out before we went to our seats. I picked up a Coors Light, and she got her pretzel. I got a Coors Light. It was great.
Was she going around telling people that you own the Mets?
No, I think it's like I kind of keep telling her like I don't own the Mets. Like I make Mets t-shirts.
Yeah.
But like she gets really fired up when she sees anyone wearing a Mets hat somewhere. Like we'll be at the park. Oh, Mets hat. Like she gets pumped on it. So anyway, Coors Lights, great for a game day, great for chilling at the house, the beach, the pool, whatever it may be. Got 5 games on deck against the Braves. You want to stock up on your Coors Lights this week. Go to CoorsLight.com/OABT. Reset and chill. Sit back, relax, have a brewski. Always remember to celebrate responsibly. And Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Let's add our buddy Joe DeMayo to the stream.
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going?
Good. So before we get to all the fun baseball chat, yesterday, so I'm going to Shea Bridge to go get food, and I'm like, wow, that guy looks like Darren from the back. I see the tattoos and everything, so I'm like, I kind of did one of these, like walking behind him, just checking. Then I went and like grabbed his traps and went with that move. And
I was getting him. I'm walking over the Shea Bridge and I'm starting getting a massage.
Well,
I'm like, what's going on?
Thank God it was actually you.
Yeah, if it wasn't me, that would have been really weird.
And then, of course, the Amelia moment melted my little heart.
Oh, it's so cute.
And she's just like, "Daddy, your store." And I'm just like, "Oh." And
that's the best.
Yeah, it is the best. And then, Julia, I feel bad for you about getting shit on today.
You know what? I'm going to roll with the fact that it's good luck. I don't know how this good luck is going to translate for me, but I will manifest that it will be Mets related and it'll all be fine. So we'll see. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I got shit on once by a bird when I was back in the day when I was 16. I used to do like pushing carts and all that stuff at the grocery store. And I'm just pushing carts, and all of a sudden I just felt like a thump on my chest. Like it was like with some force. And so I'm looking around thinking like someone I was working with like messed with me and threw something at me or whatever, just messing around. I looked down, just shit.
Ew. Okay.
I was like, I gotta go.
Darren's fart button, which we need to clarify.
Yes.
But did you get any luck from that? Did anything good happen to you afterwards?
Not really.
All right, that's
but yeah, just making it relatable, I guess.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Not making me feel better about it just because I'm hoping something good comes out of it, but I guess that's me.
Listen, you can't go wrong with starting any conversation with a poop talk.
Right, exactly.
We've learned that on the show.
Okay, so let's transition though from poop to the Mets.
Yes.
Which they are anything but so far this season. What do you think is going to happen by Friday? I know we kind of already told the listeners and viewers to watch out for all the imposters that pop up on Twitter with their fake rumors. Mm-hmm. But what do you realistically see actually happening by Friday?
So I think they're going to be active. I think they're heavy in on starting pitching for sure. I think that's their top priority to add a starter. But I think they're going to be opportunistic with offensive players because I think the price on those rental bats, the Chris Bryants, Trevor Stories, Javi Baez's, if those guys are moved, it's going to be surprisingly reasonable, I think. And then, of course, in my opinion, every contender should always add a bullpen arm. Like no matter what, you can always improve your bullpen a little bit, even if it's a second lefty or a middle reliever. Like it doesn't necessarily need to be, Craig Kimbrell, who's going to compete with Diaz for save opportunities or whatever. You could just get someone to upgrade the pen for the stretch run. And I think Rich Hill ultimately will be impactful out of the bullpen if everything comes back. Jake comes back okay. Carrasco's good. Syndergaard comes back. They add someone in trade. I think Hill could be really impactful down the stretch and in the playoffs if they're there as that lefty that could go multiple innings. And, for his career, lefties hit like 180 off him. So like he'd be really good in that role.
Could you see Scherzer in a Mets uniform?
I don't know. I kind of think out of
You want
spite.
to. Yeah.
And I think kind of out of spite, Mike Rizzo might not trade him to the Mets. Just like, I'm not going to help the Mets win a World Series. But there's also like some buzz that he won't waive his no trade clause without an extension, or at least that's a potential rumor. And the last thing I want to do is extend Max Scherzer at 36 years old. I would bring him in and literally just pitch him till his arm falls off for this year, and then let him be someone else's problem, kind of like what Milwaukee did back in the day with CC Sabathia. Like they traded for him, and he pitched on like short rest for 2 months straight and threw 110 pitches every outing. So yeah, that's what I would do. I would, if they could get Scherzer somehow, that'd obviously be awesome. But I would be like, not extending you, man. You're just here for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
We're talking with Joe DeMayo, who you know from at PSL to Flushing on Twitter, also Mets Prospective on SNY. It's fun saying that we are talking to SNY's Joe DeMayo now.
So cool.
The rise to stardom here. It's great.
Yeah, man. It's cool. I mean, it's just, I do exactly what I've always done. And for some reason they want to put me on camera and talk about it. So
you had Kumar on your show, right? Rocker?
Yeah, we had Kumar on the show. Basically, so I'll walk you through draft day if you care.
Please, yes.
So I'm doing the pregame show with Gary Apple, Todd Zeal, whatever. And
whatever.
Whatever.
No big deal.
First time doing live TV, crazy nervous. And so they're like, all right, we're going to commercial, and after commercial, we'll bring you on. All right. So it was a Zoom call. So literally it looked like this. And in the commercial, all of a sudden, Gary and Todd start talking to me, and Todd's starting to tell me his draft story of like when he got drafted. And I'm intrigued. And then all of a sudden the producer's voice goes over theirs to like talk to me. So Todd's telling me this story, and I basically have nothing to say. So he's probably like, who's this ass that we're bringing on that's not even acknowledging what I'm saying? And then, I'm talking about one of the prospects that I think they probably would have drafted if Rocker didn't make it to them at 10. And, I'm just talking to Gary Apple, and I had like an ADD moment, despite I don't have ADD. Like they put a video of the prospect on the screen. And I didn't know that was coming. So I just like looked down, and in my mind, it felt like it was like 10 seconds of me looking at this guy's video while I'm live on TV. It basically was like a second. So no one seemed to notice, but that was funny. And then obviously the
draft was longer.
Yeah. If you're ever in a jam, you could always just pretend like your camera froze. Just like don't.
Yeah,
move.
especially on Zoom. Be like, oh, sorry, my feed froze for a second.
It's true. And then when the draft comes about, I'm basically in a Zoom room because they're like, we need an instant reaction to the pick, whoever it is, like within 2 minutes of it happening.
Wow.
So I'm on a Zoom, just like chilling, waiting, and I'm like, spoil the pick for me. So I get that done. And then a half hour later, we have the main media Zoom call with Kumar and the Mets scouting department and everything. And they're like, sit in on that. Don't ask anything, but sit in on it just so like you don't ask the same exact questions for Mets perspective. So he got off that call. Then we hopped in another Zoom, did the interview with him, and good kid. I mean, short with what he's saying, but probably better off to do that.
Yeah.
Seems like a nice kid, smiling, happy, had a Mets hat, all that good stuff. And then I got a DM from Lori Rubinson on the Fan. She's like, do you want to come on tonight and talk the draft? I said, sure.
Look at you, man.
Wow.
What she, very good, very well played by her. She goes, she just asked if I would do it. I said, sure. And then she goes, how's 1:30 a.m. sound? And I'm like, should have led with that, or I should have asked. But I basically said sure, so I couldn't be like, well, that's too late. So I was just like, guess I'm saying up to 1:30.
There you go. Or set an alarm.
That's awesome, though, Joe.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah,
all right,
fun.
guys. So definitely make sure you follow Joe on Twitter. I'm sure that he'll be up to date with all that's going on this week. And like he said, be aware of the fake accounts and don't get had. So at PSL to Flushing on Twitter. We appreciate a couple seconds of your day, buddy.
You got it. Anytime. We'll talk soon.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye, Joe.
Always nice.
Best.
Yeah, honestly, I was walking. I do remember him rubbing my shoulders. I'm like, what the hell? Who is this? And it was
New service Steve Cohen has added to City Field.
At least it was
massages on the Shea Bridge.
At least it was someone I knew. That would have been very weird if it was like some random stranger.
Or like
touching
an
me.
acquaintance who was just thought you were friendlier than you are. There are people like that.
Yeah, you know what it is? When you're walking around with your kid, I feel like people aren't as.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different. I'm buddies with Joe.
Right.
Like, Not that I'm, Joe Beningo here. Yo, hey, bro, I'm trying to like be, leave me alone. But,
That was
I
a great impression, by the way.
No, that's not good at all. But yeah, people do talk to me and stuff, whatever. Like, and I'm very appreciative of it. Like, I wouldn't be anywhere without the fans that support the 7 line. But when you're walking around with your kid, people don't really bother you.
Yeah. It's a family day. You're not here working. You're here with your family.
No offense.
I get it. No.
So something very freaking awesome is happening with our friends from Dugout Mugs. I wanted to talk about this for months, and I guess they weren't ready yet because I told you about it.
Oh, yes.
Remember, I was like, they're coming out with some new products. I can't really talk about it yet. So everyone loves the Dugout Mugs for what they are. They were the originators of the bat mug, which you all have known to love. They turned the top of a baseball bat into a 12-ounce mug. They also have the shot glasses, the wine glasses, the bottle openers, and all that good stuff. But they just dropped their metal Dugout mugs, which are freaking phenomenal. They basically exactly the same way that they did with the baseball bat, with the wooden bat. They turned a metal bat now, like the little leaguers and the minor leaguers, whoever use the metal bats and turn them into tumbler, basically. So it's a 20-ounce size, hot or cold. The top has a slide lid on it. Let me see if I can scroll to get the photos here. There you go. And they have every option for every team. So the front has the team logo. The bat says Dugout Mugs on it. And they keep your drinks hot or cold for a very long time. They are MLB licensed, vacuum sealed, stainless steel. And
it's cool. It kind of just looks like a tall boy. Yeah.
Dishwasher friendly, but not recommended. So if you want to hand wash these, it's probably the best way to go. So what they are doing, if you go to dugoutmugs.com/7line, you can get yours for 40% off, which is insane because they just came out. They're already discounting them. They are normally $49.99. They are on sale for $29.99. You hit the little drop down button there and you select your team. Obviously, you might want to select the Mets if you're watching this show. But super great idea. I'm very happy that they finally came out with these because I can't wait to get mine in the mail. I ordered mine over the weekend. So they are $29.99 for the pre-sale price. And I don't know how much longer this runs. Oh, it says the pre-sale item will ship in the middle of August. So I think they only set aside a certain amount of these. So if you guys are interested, definitely after the show, or even, I won't hate you if you turn the show off early. I don't want you to do that.
Open a separate tab.
Open a separate tab.
Yeah.
Dugoutmugs.com/7line. You get yours for 40% off right now if you hit the website. And very happy for them. It's always great to launch a new product.
So cool.
And the wooden ones, not that they're going away, but the metal ones, I feel like
a little more durable to travel with. Yeah.
Yeah, these make great gifts. Like, the wooden ones are awesome, but like I'm not going to bring this in my car.
You're afraid it'll get damaged, right? The metal ones are a little more.
Well, not damaged. These are very durable.
Yeah.
But the metal ones, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Right. So definitely head on over and pick those up. So we didn't talk about this yet, but I think I saw a stage 5 clinger on the LIE this morning.
I have been staring at on the rundown. It says, "I love you, Courtney," all show long.
So I'm driving on the LIE. It's like 8:45, 9 o'clock, whatever it is, on my way into work. And I see a guy standing on the shoulder of the LIE, not the service road, of the LIE.
This is unhinged.
Of the highway, holding a sign. He was wearing a blue gator. He had normal looking clothes on. Didn't look like he was disheveled in any way. And couldn't quite see his face because he had half of it covered, but he was holding up a sign on oak tag with like a glitter border.
The effort went into this poster.
"I love you, Courtney." I was totally expecting Trump,
political,
Biden, something Monday morning, whatever, loony bin on the side of the highway. And it wasn't. And as I got closer,
this is still pretty loony bin on the side of the highway.
Yeah, I think that, let's just call him Joe or Johnny, whatever you want to call him.
We just had Joe on the show. Everybody's going to picture that Joe when you think of this person.
We're going to call this guy Johnny.
Johnny.
So we see Johnny on the LIE, standing there. This guy must have fucked up so bad over the weekend with Courtney that he knows Courtney goes to work on the LIE.
It's either that or it's the worst proposal of all time.
I was expecting
There's
that
no
too.
in between.
No, because if it was a proposal, how would he know that she'd have enough time to like pull over?
Maybe a cop, maybe has it arranged a cop will pull her over and the cop will be like, "Oh, look over there." And then she has to walk across the LIE.
That should be illegal, by the way, when cops get involved in like stuff
I
like
know.
That. I saw one where a guy proposed at a gas station by pretending he was getting arrested. And then the girl was like,
too.
"Leave him
she
alone."
Was like, yeah, like
and
terrified.
then like the cop was like, "Oh no, he's really just trying to propose." That's a bad idea.
Do less, men.
Yeah.
Please do
but
less.
This Johnny I don't know what Johnny did. I don't know if
I want the tea. Courtney, if you're watching Orange and Blue Thing,
and I'm sure
please
that
tell us what happened.
hundreds of other people driving on the LAE this morning can back me up on this story.
Anyone
I didn't
has
make
the
this up.
tea, I would love to know.
But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, how many cars are in the LAE? Like every second that goes by, this guy has like 20 cars pass him. So
Courtney's got to be.
I don't know if Courtney saw this. I don't know what Johnny did this weekend, but to be out on the LIE and make that much effort, it was a nice sign. Like I've made many signs over the years.
Yeah, as have I.
The letters looked like they were, I don't know if you could buy
like
sticker
paint?
letters. They weren't written. It looked like it was like bubble letters that you would like
sticker
buy from the like a sticker and put it on. But I love you, Courtney. I don't know what Johnny did, but I don't think that that's going to get Courtney back.
No, not the LIE. The LIE, nobody's in a good mood on the LIE.
But he must know that's her route because that's the only way that this would work.
Without being so creepy, like showing up where she works.
That would be worse.
You could get away with it. I'm just on the LIE and I could have been here on my own. I could have been here randomly by chance.
Very strange. Very weird.
Oh, Johnny.
So have you been watching any of the Olympics?
I watched the gymnastics last night.
What time was it on?
Love the gymnastics. So it originally happened like early in the morning yesterday, but they aired it last night at 7:30 p.m. It was just the qualifiers.
Okay.
So it wasn't anything for medals yet, but the gymnasts weren't kind of performing up to par. Like it's very unusual that this happens, but it doesn't count for anything. But at the end of the day, the Russian team was above the US, which was not expected at all.
See, in the day and age that we live in, not to cut you off on that thought,
No,
but
it's fine.
the internet, I mean, if you follow, like I don't follow anyone on the internet that's going to break like teasers or spoilers for the Olympics, but
to have it
if you already know what happens, you're not going to watch it. Like
I know.
Motocross, back to motocross. On Saturday, there was a national and I didn't get to watch it. And I kind of like avoided certain things on Instagram so I wouldn't know who won. And I watched it last night.
Well, I'll always watch the gymnastics no matter what, especially Simone Biles, because she is the greatest of all time. And it's so ridiculous. But did you hear, I was listening to this on Elvis Duran in the Morning this morning. They were talking about how the judges have said that now Simone Biles does these moves and routines that are so ridiculously hard because she is the only one on earth who can do them. And if anyone else attempted to do them, they'd look like idiots or hurt themselves. But that's the thing. So they rank it by difficulty and then by execution. So the average can still be the same, you know, how well you execute the move, whatever. But they're now saying that we're not going to give you any additional points for how hard it is because you're just going to run away with it. It wouldn't be fair to everyone else. And how ridiculous is that? It's the Olympics. She's the best of all time. It makes no sense, but that is apparently what they've told her. Like, it doesn't matter how, like, we're going to score you, like, whatever.
That's like saying Pete Alonso can go to the home run derby, but they don't all count because he hits them further.
You're handicapping her for being the best one there. Crazy. So stupid.
So I don't know when the baseball schedule is, but I know that, you know, Todd Frazier's
softball hit a walk-off home run. They're going to the finals against Japan.
No way.
Yeah.
See, I got to keep up on this stuff. I got to follow some different people on the Instagram there or on Twitter.
The Twitters.
But who you should be following on Instagram are our friends from Project Repat. They give out a free t-shirt quilt every month to a Mets fan. All you have to do to get in the running is go to Project Repat USA on Instagram. Simply follow their account, and that's how you're put in the running. Make sure you're wearing something orange and blue or baseball related, and that's how they scroll through their followers. They have over 500,000 happy customers, and they are handmade in North Carolina and Texas. All you do is select the size you want and mail them your favorite garments, your t-shirts, your jerseys, your polo shirts, maybe something from an event, a walk, a softball event.
I will say
any
parents that have a kid going away to college soon, this would be a great little gift for them to take to their dorm.
Absolutely.
Any old t-shirts they have so they don't get homesick.
Absolutely.
Highly recommend.
So head on over to Project Repat USA on Instagram. Simply follow their account, and that's how you're put in the running. If you want to just pick one up and not wait to be a lucky winner, go to projectrepat.com. That's how you can get involved. They always have different promo codes on their website. And they, like Julia said, they make great gifts. And I love that they do so much for the economy too. So like they're handmade. I looked at a video that they put up on their website about the process behind it and how many people they employ and all that. So it's
awesome.
great company. So definitely get involved. So this week, like I said, we are giving away the Coors Light cooler. To get involved, all you got to do is share the show.
Is it a Coors Light cooler?
No, I'm sorry. It's not a Coors Light cooler. I'm calling it a Coors Light cooler.
There's Coors Lights in the cooler, but they don't come with them.
It is filled with Coors Lights right now. But no, it's a Mets 6-pack cooler is what they're calling it. And that's how you can be put in the running. Just share the show and retweet if you're watching on Twitter. If you're doing, not doing, but if you're listening afterwards as a podcast, simply pop over between now and next Monday. And that's how you be put in the running to win. So we had an Olympian on the show a few weeks ago.
Soon to be.
Jeremy Wolf. From More Than Baseball, who has been putting a lot of pressure on Steve Cohen and the Mets to do something about their minor league, the minor league players and what they could do to make their lives better. It seems like some things have been
We're getting some traction here for sure. So I'm sure everybody saw a couple weeks ago when Steve Cohen tweeted saying, we're looking into this. We'll have a comprehensive response by next week. We haven't heard an official comprehensive response yet, but apparently some Mets minor leaguers have said that there have been some improvements that have been starting to be rolled out. So we will wait and see, as this tweet says. I don't know if you want to read it.
Yeah, so we have a tweet here from the Advocates for Minor Leaguers. They said, according to multiple players, the Mets have started rolling out improvements to their treatment of minor leaguers. We await the comprehensive response the club promised to release last week and look forward to comparing that response to the changes suggested by the Mets players. So granted, when Steve Cohen said next week, I don't think they had like a firm date, like, by next Friday, you're going to have like our full plan.
Yeah.
These types of things take time, but it's good to see that they are following up on it as far as
there's already noticeable differences in less than a month. So, I know it's we can very much demand things of a billionaire. That's not unreasonable.
Right.
But we do have to also understand that there's logistics to these things. I'm sure it takes time to get things approved, whatever. But it's a trend in the right direction. So I look forward to seeing more, and we should soon. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking about logistics and planning and all that stuff, if you have not picked up but if you haven't purchased your hotel yet for LA, you have until tomorrow to do so to get the discounted rate. So all you have to do to get involved, if you haven't got your room yet, I know that we put this information up pretty late, so I apologize for that. But if you go to the7line.com and click on the part that says outings, and then click on LA, even though it's Dodger Stadium, and it says sold out. If you scroll down, there's a button that says book a discounted hotel room by clicking here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I have my little cursor over it. When you click that, it brings you to the link to purchase tickets at the discount. And it's severely discounted.
Tickets, you mean rooms?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For a discounted hotel room.
Yes.
So if you're going to LA and you haven't booked your room yet, we're less than a month away now. It is the 26th of July. That is on the 21st of August.
Holy
so
moly.
Book your room. They emailed me this morning that they have, I think, like 200 rooms are already booked. That's a lot of rooms.
That's a lot of rooms.
But they saved over 300.
Cool.
But it expires tomorrow. So if you haven't booked your room yet, go on over to the7line.com and click that link. It's the Sheraton in downtown. I think it's normally like well over $200 a night. I think it's like $120 a night.
Wow.
So a good discount. You're not going to that one, right?
No, I got doggies.
No LA for you.
Not for me.
Unfortunately.
I wish.
Yeah, it's gonna. Let's talk about it a little bit about the pregame. People have been asking, why didn't you post any pregame details yet? There is nothing.
There's nothing to do
near Chavez Ravine.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking more now that I know that there's 200 rooms booked, which is probably like 400 people.
Hotel bar, right?
I think we might do something close to the hotel instead of being like, all right, let's all leave the hotel and then go to this bar and then go from the bar to the game. Let's all just meet someplace near the hotel.
You can even, you should, because I don't know if you went to the Pittsburgh hotel bar at the Spring Hill. That's where we were saying.
It's too small though for like 400 people.
It's small, but it was really nice. And again, this one, like there was a door that led right into it. So again, I don't know what this hotel looks like or whatever, how much room you'd be able to take over.
Did you stay in the Boston hotel with us?
Yes.
It's the same family as the Boston.
Oh, okay.
It's the Sheraton, like it's huge.
Yeah.
So that place was gigantic too.
Yeah.
So I think that's that.
I think that's the move.
That. It's not going to be like it's not going to be like
I think it's the only
option
though, right?
But and at least we'll be together, and then we could figure out our travel together from there to the game, because it's a mess over there. LA, you hear, I've been to LA once.
Me too.
You hear about the LA traffic. It's a real thing.
It's bad.
So I want to make sure that we're not late to the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to plan this like elaborate like pregame party, and then we all have to get there from the hotel and then be like, all right, we're here for an hour. We have to leave.
Yeah.
So sit tight. I'll figure it out. I promise. I always do. And we'll try to put on the best party we possibly can. Speaking of more things that I got to let you guys know about, tomorrow, the Mercury Mets hats go back on sale. And some people on the internet go, this is gross. This is ugly. Why would I buy this?
How quickly we forget.
Because we put them up the last time and they sold out in 2 seconds.
And there was a lot of angry
lot of
people
very
that there wasn't
angry-
enough.
Angry Mets fans. So listen, if you think it's ugly, don't buy it.
Right.
It's no harm, no foul. I don't blame you if your taste is different than someone else's, but you're buying a piece of history here. This is nostalgia.
Mhm.
And tomorrow is the 22-year anniversary of when the Mets wore these hats and jerseys at Shea Stadium. So that's why
Wow.
we are releasing them again tomorrow. People ask in the comments all the time, would you make 2 of them? How'd they sell out so fast? I promise you we made way more than 2. And if you want to pick one up, I don't have the number in front of me, but let's say we ordered 100 last time. We ordered more than double this time.
Perfect.
So I think we have about 288, if my memory serves me right, because we usually order by 72s.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure we have 288 assorted sizes between 6 and 7/8. Let me see. I think it goes from 6 and 7/8 to 8 1/4. So every fitted hat size, if you wear a popular size, like the middle of the range, like 7.5, those sell out first. So be on time tomorrow, 10 a.m. on the 7line.com. Pick up your Mercury Mets hat. They are in stock. We'll ship them immediately. And yeah, so
What about that shirt
Do your
you're
thing.
wearing?
the shirt I am wearing,
That's a nice shirt you got on there.
this is the Rock Like Shea updated version
in black.
in black, BLK.
Love it.
Friday night, Mets are back in black. Stroman wore the jersey yesterday. I'm
Awesome.
sure you saw it as he was warming up in the outfield, taking some tosses. Like we talked about, I think last week, it is the same jersey, I think, with just an updated sleeve patch from back in the day. So I don't know if they are for sale yet. I think Steve Cohen actually wrote, or the Mets wrote something about like pre-sale coming out soon.
Fall, I think, is when they're supposed to get them.
But I guarantee they're
Yeah.
going to be stocked to the gills with black
for
stuff.
sure. Yeah.
T-shirts, hats, whatever,
Yeah.
not jerseys at Citi Field, including our Mets Apple design. Not this one, but the
Ooh.
Mets Apple design is coming out in black. We're going to have those on
Cool.
Friday at our kiosk in center field at Citi Field. So
Awesome.
get involved. I know Julia's trying to go on Friday night. I can't make it.
Trying.
I'm going to be camping.
That's fun.
I am going to Lake George.
Oh, I lost my first tooth in Lake George.
No way.
Yes, and I used the tooth fairy money I got to use to play like a doll machine, and I actually won one of the dolls, and it was because of the magic of the tooth fairy, and that's my story.
How about that?
So
we're going to Lake George this weekend. I'll be watching the games from when the girls go to sleep from my laptop, I guess. So that's the story. Share the show, get involved for next week. That's how we give away the stuff. And I think we hit pretty much everything here. Julia got shit on if you missed. And you want to rewind to the beginning of the show.
fly did not fly into my mouth, so this was a successful show.
So
in
let's
my
do a
book.
quick recap. The Mets Hall of Fame this Saturday. They should
Yes.
have done a better job. Hopefully, they're going to do something with the next couple days to really fire this up and promote this because the fans should absolutely be out there as much as they can be for support of darling Matlack and Alfonso.
100%.
Friday night black jerseys. Mets got 5 games on deck. Doubleheader today against
There's
the
a
Barbs.
pony at Citi Field.
There's a pony at Citi Field. The pony power is taking over Donnie Stevenson. Thank God.
And if you know what happened between Courtney and Johnny, please tell us. We're dying to know. I think that's it.
That's it. All right, guys. See you next week.
Put it in the box. Put it in the box.
Oh.
I wasn't talking about the hot dog.
See you guys.